So the ordinance committee voted last week on a proposed rewrite of the vehicle for hire ordinance. It was really, I mean, the rewrite process started, there were sort of two tracks that were going. One was, I think that in 2008, the taxi ordinance was rewritten. There were frustrations in terms of governance and oversight that culminated in a report in August of 2014, sort of saying, look, we need to revisit how this is governed. Simultaneously, Uber sort of announced its presence in about October of 2014. Drivers showed up and started hailing rides. There was a little bit of a dispute with the administration in terms of whether those drivers and Uber needed to be licensed under our ordinance or not. That impasse somewhat was resolved by the passage of an interim operating agreement, which the council will remember we all unanimously passed after a few hearings at the ordinance committee. That was to take effect for 1 year. And in that same resolution, the council tasked the ordinance committee with sort of going back and making, or coming back to the council. At that time, it was hoped by November of last year with, a major rewrite. We had heard, in advance of that, sort of focus on ensuring public safety as well as leveling the playing field. There had been many concerns raised about there being two playing fields between TNC and regular taxi companies. That resulted, the administration sort of took the lead, the city attorney's office, in convening 3 public hearings in late summer, early fall, to solicit input from members of the public as well as taxi owners in terms of what they would like to see. The city attorney's office then took that information back and came forward with a proposed rewrite of the ordinance, which the committee then held, I'm trying to remember exactly, 4 or 5 public hearings where we received some input from the public, culminating in last week's hearing. Because we're not voting on this, I'm not going to take an advocacy position. I'm going to sort of turn it back over to Greg now to walk through what are the substantive high-level changes in the ordinance from our current ordinance.